and welcome to yet another exciting edition of Emerge. I am Ulo, your delightful host. Now, I am not alone, and obviously, why would I be alone when there's great people to have amazing conversations with? And I would like to put a disclaimer out there. Today, I might, no, just pardon my excitement. I am joined by the love of my life, my industry brother, the incredible, phenomenal voiceover artist and the radio host, Wanzi.
Oh my goodness. That's an intro.
Welcome, Wanzi.
Thank you so much for having me here.
One thing I have struggled over the years is to pronounce your full name.
Honest.
Please help me because just give the people what they need.
Funny enough, you're not the only one.
Uh-huh.
So everyone else butchers my name, whether it is on radio, whether it is a client. I'm used to it. But again, they're not my parents, so they mustn't get it right. So the full name is Wanzianji Mulwanda. That is the full name.
Wanzianji.
Yes.
Oof, that's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
What does it mean?
It means to reconcile, something that you give as reconciliation.
Really?
Some sort of a gift in this case.
Almost feels like it does resonate with the person you are. You carry this just graceful aura and you're so unbothered about unnecessary things and drama and trouble. Would you say names really do have, that weight over who a person becomes?
Funny enough, Ulo, I never really cared so much for my name because I always wanted an English name. So my middle name is Donald.
Really? That's funny.
I'm telling you. So for me, it was about having the English name because I had friends like Michael and Wilson, and it sounded beautiful. But I had a chance to just have this conversation with Dad and say, look, I want to understand where this name is coming from. Well, it's a whole other story of them reconciling at some point and me being that sort of gift for the two of them. And I tend to carry that with me every single time. I tend to carry that without me even knowing it. I go with it, and sometimes it's heavy. Heavy is the crown.
Wow, heavy is the crown, but it is a beautiful name, I
Thank
think.
you.
And also part of when we were younger, why we desired, the English names, really feels like was some sort of inferiority complex, don't you think?
100%. I'm one person that I think now in my 20s, I've sort of grown into myself, eh? What do they call it? Glow up. Is it?
Like I'm in my glow up season, and we use that word carelessly on the socials.
Oh,
even when
things are not working,
are crushed and
things are not happening, but within ourselves, we just feel there's this outside appearance. But for me, the transformation was inward. I had to first start to love myself and appreciate myself. And you can't choose DNA, you can't choose family, you can't choose relatives, you can't choose certain things around you, right? So it starts from within you. I never really loved myself, authentically. I never really appreciated myself. But now, the selfie stick is here.
Listen, now it would be injustice of me to let this conversation go right ahead without having a stellar moment with the best dressed man in the building. So there's a thing we do on Emerge where we ask some people that we think are really dapper to run us through what you're wearing. So let's pretend we're at the Oscars and I'm like, hi, Wanzi, good evening. You look really good. Please run us through what you are wearing.
I am wearing a sweater in the inside, something to keep me warm. And I couldn't mention it right now, but it's just a sweater.
It's okay, you could.
Something good. Something cheap, guys.
Really?
Salawala is okay.
Yeah, it is. Thrift is good.
Thrift is good.
It's good.
Thrift is good.
Salawala iliche, guys.
Wing.
Listen.
Salawala. This is a windbreaker.
Yeah.
It's just something that complements the entire outfit, makes it sort of look sporty, but still keeps that minimalistic appearance to it. White is my new thing now. I'm starting to grace myself in all white. Blue jeans for the casual. It's a Friday. Not working today, just relaxing, you and I. And some Pumas. I'm a fan of all things white on my feet. I feel that white for me just resonates a brilliance to it.
You look absolutely dapper.
Thank you.
That's the word. Now, the Phoenix mantra, only the best is good enough. And of course, you are with Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I listen to that mantra, it almost feels like they were talking about you.
Ooh. Okay. Goosebumps. Chills. Chills. It's one thing to step into a place like Phoenix FM, something that is well established, well grounded, and very well known. I mean, notable broadcasters and voiceover artists have gone through that place of work, and to step into that place and provide service and be talent. Again, not to be repetitive, heavy is the crown, because there's so much weight and on so many shoulders that you stand on. So you have to continue with that spirit in itself and continue to do your best. It's hard.
It's crazy. It's really hard. However, you strike me as somebody that is very detailed. And I came across a post that you had put out. I will read it just for context's sake. You said in your post that, where is it? What is that?
Was it like a breakup post or just work related?
No, not at all. Yeah, so you were saying, be the hero in your story. What does that hero look like in your story?
Wow. I think this hero does not wear a cape. Is it a cap? Anything to drench themselves in. This hero is a young man trying to navigate the ins and outs of media, broadcasting in general, trying to live his passion in the best way, in the best way, of course. And this hero is continuously striving to learn, striving to become something that in his mind is far-fetched.
Yes.
But every step of the way sort of grounds you and reminds you of the mission. And that very day I was broadcasting from the Copper Belt. It was an outside broadcasting, so you leave the station and you're in an OB van, which is an outside broadcasting van with a studio setup as this. And it was Heroes Day. It must have been Heroes Day. And for me, I didn't want to look at someone else as my hero. I wanted to...
Which we've been taught to perceive all of the time.
Funny enough. I wanted to go back and just look as fresh as possible in a three-piece suit and say, I will be the hero that I've been crying for. I will be that person to save me from all of this.
Crazy. Now, with the flavorless time we're in of the social media era, it can be very easy for people to applaud themselves as being heroes. I'm the hero. And film. And recently, I actually saw Maki 2 put up a post. He was in a very dapper suit. I think he was wearing a navy blue suit or something like that. And he said, look, at least if you failed in other areas, the best you can do for yourself is be the hero in your story. And when I saw your post, it sort of resonated. Sounds easy, but not as easy to actually actualize. How do you then become that hero for yourself? Look, because it's not every day that you wake up and you're feeling great and you're loving your job and you're loving the people around you. There's different life circumstances, but how do you just constantly show up anyway and continue to be the hero of your own story?
So it's a two-part thing, right? I'm not the most social media savvy person. When I post something, it's something that's resonating with me at that point. And I feel that someone must see it, or is it a client, is it someone that's following me, or just friends? I feel that the message is important at that very time. I'm not the most frantic person when it comes to social media. I don't sit on it. I don't digest as much content as I should as a broadcaster, which is a very poor mentality, because everything else quickly happens on social media.
Yeah,
you know.
we've gone digital.
You know what I mean? So I have to move with the times. You either evolve or dissolve, as Ashley would put it.
Yeah, listen. Please
We
say
brought
that
it.
again.
You
You either evolve or
or
dissolve.
dissolve.
Ah.
You know, but to be honest, I give chops and props to everyone else that's a social media entrepreneur, in the sense that it's a very almost too saturated platform, right? So you can be the it on social media, but certain things just don't reflect, right? And when you're alone and when you're sitting and staring at yourself in the mirror, you're staring at nothingness, you know, because your dopamine levels are exemplified by the clicks and the likes and the hearts and the comments and things like that. For me, so long as I'm doing what I love to do and I am earning a living out of it, I care less for social media. Not to dismiss it and not to be arrogant with it. I'm just being truthful with what I have experienced and the things that I have done. You know what I mean? And again, for me, my mantra, every time I quote someone or I invoice something, there's a mantra down below. It says, live authentically. And live authentically meaning be true to yourself. When you've got zero ngwe, you've got zero ngwe. Don't go to the club. Don't step into that place. Wow. And when you've got it, enjoy it like it's your last, because you earned it. You know what I mean? In this life, in this moment, as we're seated here, the deciding factor is inhaling and exhaling.
That's
Between that, it's life and death.
Oh wow.
So I'm in this moment with you.
And I'm just having, that self-reflection moment. And funny is, when you came on, I was like, okay, hey, Wanzi, could you please come through on my podcast? I literally had a different conversation, just to have with you. And I know that parts of it do merge with what you are talking about. But this is the thing about being authentic and being in the moment. And when you are seated with somebody of such value as you are, and you start to lead in a certain direction, look, you've got to throw that script away.
Yes.
And just, let life lead. However, before we get to the meat of this business, I would like you to take off those sunnies, because I'm sure the girlies,
come on,
the women are wondering what is hidden behind.
Nothing much. Hey, no pearls of blue, no pearls of brown.
Do you have green eyes?
Nothing of that nature. But funny enough, I've got like this grayish lining around my eyes. I don't know if it's
What's
a disease or.
You should have it checked, Wanzi.
No, but it looks perfect. I think I've been to the eye doctor. They
I
said
love
it's good.
the flows. This is where people say they love their flows.
You know what I mean?
No,
They
but
say
on a
it's
serious
perfect.
note, though,
No,
you
honest.
should have it checked.
No, honest, I will. But funny enough, right? I went to school. These very private schools, and I've been a victim of bullying, right?
Really?
Yeah, honest. So people would come through and they would nickname you. Like, oh my gosh, that boy has really red eyes, red lips. I think Red Lips was the hottest,
time.
musician at that point, right? I don't know why, but I've always had crooked teeth, things like that. And so
You have the most wonderful dental fund. Remember when we first
We
met
did.
and I was like, oh my gosh, you have such a beautiful dental.
Thank you. And now I take care of it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all I have. I can work on
Oh.
it. We can straighten it. But I've seen Idris Elba with the same type of teeth. I've seen Sia with the same type of thing. J. Cole. And these are like the most prominent superstars in the world. I said, if they're comfortable and they can maintain, I can do the same. Until a time when it's dire and needful, then I will do something with myself.
Crazy. So now today I just want us to touch a little on how to constantly improve your craft and ensure that you stay relevant in the industry, in the business, in whatever endeavor you choose to pursue. However, before we get into the details of how you choose to just constantly improve, I would like to know, how did you get into the radio space?
Whoa. Many, many years ago. Many
Many years ago.
Now I'm trying to make it seem like I'm old, ancient or something. I would date it back to, say, high school, the start of high school.
Really?
A friend of mine, Wilson, was part of this non-profit called junior reporters. It was under the Swedish school or embassy, and they were trying to produce a magazine.
Okay.
And I've been a sucker and avid reader of novels. You know, I love to read.
I know you love to read. You literally coerced me into reading, and now listen. I'm on it. I'm on it.
Pressure.
Yes.
Pressure. Also, he reeled me in and said, "Look, I'm doing this project. Would you love that? Here's the contact. Call him and tell him you got it from a radio." We lied.
Just like.
So I lied my way through it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a liar for that part. But
A beautiful liar.
you know what I mean? I'm a beautiful liar, it's Shakira and Beyonce.
Oh my goodness.
But funny enough, I didn't take it so very serious when it happened. When I gave Johan a call and I said, "Look, I'm interested to be a part of this." He said, "Okay, great. We're launching in about 3 months. Come back with a story." And he said, "What do you love to talk about?" I didn't have anything in mind, so I said fashion, because everybody else was doing stories about everyone else. And I reached
Gossip
out.
and everything that we Zambians like to see, some gossip.
Even in my radio days now, I hate topics on gossip and things that are just irrelevant. You know, I don't do those. I brush them away quickly. I contacted Tawani. We did the interview, launched it. Great, it was fantastic. Still in high school. And we started to do a few other projects with the International Labour Organization. And then long after high school and being around in society, just walking up and about, just being young, the dangers of having to complete school too early. But it's good.
Being smart, obviously. Hello.
So, come on. So I found myself in a space where I was in contact with a person called Sisi Changu Chilosa. She is late now, but she was a broadcaster at Radio Christian Voice. She was doing something called New Jane.
Yes, heard of her.
And we just clicked, you know what I mean? She was a mother figure, sister figure to me, and she mentored me and said, "You know what, funny enough, you sound good." I said, "No." She said, "No, you sound pretty good. You should try and do radio." I was like, It was an impossible thing.
Why?
So,
Why was it an impossible thing?
Again.
Especially that you sound like this, just naturally.
But I was 16. So, you know, this is a young person that's just left high school and doesn't really understand and know what it is that they want to do. Which dates me back, not to deviate, reminds me of a conversation I was having on radio where belief, right? Sometimes we need someone from the external to sort of believe on our behalf before we can believe in it. I should see something in you, you know, and that's what many young people, many of us need. Someone to just see something, a spark, and say, "You can do this." And before you know it, they're good at what they do. So I went up and about Findeco House everywhere looking for, I went to 5FM. And funny enough, I was not scared at all. I just felt, you audition, you get in, it's good. So I went to 5FM and I met Mr. Albert Perry and the late Ricky B.
Yes.
We sat in a loft. And I was saying, "What are you doing here?" "Oh, I'm here to audition." This young boy, this young man. So, but Mr. Albert and Ricky B saw something, and he said, I don't think this place is the right spot for you, but we know where you're supposed to go, because we will sort of diminish you in one way or the other, because you're young, you need to be nurtured. This is for the, big league." And I understood it was with all of a good heart. So we exchanged contacts. But between all of that, the entire mess, I bumped into Yoeli one time. So I bumped into him and he was telling me, "Oh, you're auditioning? Okay, great. Try this radio station, try this one and the other." And till he passed on my contact to a gentleman called Chikoi Chapala. He was programs for Metro FM. And I got a call when they said, "We want a stand-in guy, midnight."
Metro?
What
are you talking about?
You know what I mean? So I heard the name. I said, it makes sense. It's run by Mr. Stan and Mr. Paul Kamunguru. And I went there. I found this prominent DJ at that point, DJ Nuri. He's late. We had a chat. And he said, "Look, midnight is for you. Come through."
Wow.
We started to learn and I started to go around, and that has been the start of it. And
crazy.
moving from one media house to the other.
Hey.
And here we are.
Now, this almost feels like you're giving me an aha moment, because a lot of times, and I know you joked about the thing about you lying then, but it's called taking a chance on yourself and literally jumping on an opportunity when it presents itself. This is the biggest lesson I'm picking from this. And a lot of us tend to just, throw ourselves under the bus.
True.
Or we feel like we're not ready for the right reasons. And I know that lying is not the right way to get there. However, what I'm saying is do what you can the right way to get where you need to be. Now, talking about getting where you need to be, you obviously have gotten where you were aspiring to be, and you are a 100, one of the best voiceover artists I've met in our country. And I would like to know, though, you get there, you realize that talent alone is not enough. What do you do to stay relevant and to ensure that your place is not taken?
Wow. You know what? I think I must have seen that on exactly what you just said. I was at either I worked into Power or doing an audition or something. A long time ago, I was coding to do something there. And either Power, Phoenix, and Michi had opened a laptop and just got a screensaver saying, talent alone does not get you the job. So I saw it. It was a glimpse. I was moving past and I saw it. So it's just reminded me of that. I've always had that in my mind. But a lot of things come with it. Being kind to people is one thing that, for me, I carry with every single time. I will treat everyone as an equal. I will be very open to suggestions and everything that the programs manager or the director has to say, just willing to learn, just be perceptive and open enough to gather as much information as possible. For me, every single place that I've worked and contributed in one way or the other, whether it's skills, experience, and all of that, it's always just been a learning curve. Hey, it's a journey. You learn something, leave something, you look at the bad, you look at the good, and you move on in this journey. So,
and all of it are lessons, the bad, the good.
Lessons that life would have us learn. All of those things. And I'm grateful I've had a chance to interact and network. Networking, another one. Just that moment when you meet someone. I mean, how I got into Phoenix was I was at church and I crossed over along Great East Road, and I found Alif, who was then production manager many years ago, and I told him, look, I would love to do voiceovers. Well, I was already doing it.
You were already.
I lied again.
Wanzi, you need to stop lying.
No, but I felt like I always had to, and it's a very bad mentality. I always felt that I had to reduce myself in order for me to get into a system. But that's a double-edged sword, because if you're overzealous, then they just think he's a brat. Right?
That's crazy. No,
so you have to find that thin line.
Yeah.
You have to ride the bullet so close that you're almost becoming a nuisance, then you let go.
Now I think, I'm so sorry to cut you short. However, my director is bleeping in my ear that I only have about 2 minutes or a second. So maybe you could just wrap it up in maybe 30 seconds.
Absolutely. So, networking is number one. Networking is number one. Be kind, and be kind to yourself after all. When you try it doesn't work, it's all good. Try the next thing.
Oh. Now, one thing that the world surely needs to know of you and about you is your voice-over potential. So I will throw you to a quick game and ask you to do me a very quick, under 30 seconds, a very quick voice-over, just so the world knows, so that Zambia knows what treasures they have.
This is nerve-wracking. Nerve-wracking.
Ding, 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 ding.
Wow. At the back of my mind? Don't have a script for me?
Who needs a script for
for
the OGs, the gods?
Oh my goodness. let me try and race back to a project that I've done. I'm trying to recollect and just put two and two together. I think I should have my phone somewhere. I should have like a screenshot somewhere. Oh no, you threw me.
Do you need the phone real quick? Okay,
I think
great.
so. I mean,
but it's a game. It's meant to be like
I know.
very fun.
I know. Okay,
spontaneous.
tell me a scenario. Maybe that would work.
A scenario.
That would
Well,
work.
just pick one of the best brands you know and speak
I've
about
worked
them.
with?
Yes.
It's fine.
Could be like a brand you look up to, a brand you've worked with, and just speak about them like real quick and under, like 30 seconds or even less.
I think I'm pretty much known for the APSA campaigns and things like that. Trying to find my message. I found it. Let's see. Okay, let me try this. Get the best assist in banking. Whether you save, borrow, insure, or bank on the go. Whatever your play, get the APSA Assist today. Get the digital assist with a Spark by APSA Digital Wallet. That's Africanacity. That's APSA.
Listen.
What?
Hey guys, give me some.
They're not
Give
even
me
club.
some.
This is why we don't perform. This is why we don't perform.
Thank you so much for making your way to Emerge. I had an incredible time with you.
I appreciate
An
you.
absolutely incredible time with you. And thank you so much to you and yours for joining into today's conversation. Please do let me know which part of today's conversation did stick out for you. And just share a little bit of your own treats, tips, and not lying, obviously, to how you stay afloat in your craft and your industry. From me, your girl Ulo, the delightful host, like I always say, if there is something that you want to do, if it stands right and serves purpose, then go do it.